Peace, what up? This is Doc Blake with Ethereal TV, bringing you the 105th episode of The Last Piece to the Puzzle. The motto for me is silver, gold, and cryptos equals freedom, because they are decentralized assets, and they're going to play an important part in the immediate, the short term, and the long term futures. And you see the cover art today. Bitcoin is breaching 44,000. It's having a hard time staying above that, but that could be just more reason that it's, you know, getting these shorts to pile in at this level in order to take off. And we're going to talk about that, but let's talk about the cover art. We have one of my favorite movies, remember the 5th of November. No, it's not called that. What is it called? I can't even think of it. V for Vendetta. Sorry, V for Vendetta. But we all know the mask. It's a very, very famous mask nowadays, especially when it comes to like revolutionary talk. I think Anonymous uses this mask. And I replaced all of the eyeballs with Bitcoins all throughout the picture. Took my time doing that. It took me like an hour just to get all the eyes. I tried to get as many as I could. Just, you know, zooming in and adding it on my phone. It was nothing crazy. Although I do have some, Adobe apps like After Effects, as well as, what's the other one called? Illustrator. But I didn't do all that for this cover art. I used this picture on my Twitter as well. But it means a lot to me. This was the moment where everybody put on the mask and started walking up. And to me personally, I feel like Bitcoin is that mask that we all need to put on and kind of show to the world leaders that, look, we're not cool with your financial system. We're not cool with central banks dictating the value of things. Free markets are not free anymore with the control of money through central banks and fiat currency and military and governments. They all, persuade the price of things from oil to gas to gold to silver, and their tool to do that is the fiat currency of the world. So Bitcoin just broke back above 44,000, trying to hold. This was previous times before recently, I guess in the last couple months, this is where we got rejected. So will this time be different? And we're going to get into that. So let's start with the price action and give it a live refresh. And currently we have Bitcoin pushing back down at $43,913. We have Ethereum at $3,107. We have Binance at $413. XRP is at 84 cents, and Cardano is up 37% basically in the last 7 days at $1.15. That's been doing very well. Polkadot is at $21.26. Polygon is another one I like. I have some Polygon. It's at $1.62. Let's see, go to my favorites. Theta Network is at $3.27. That's up 12.5% on the day. And my pick of 2022, Helium Network, is at $25.16. I actually purchased some Helium Network today using Simple Swap. Of course, my transaction, I don't know about y'all, but my transactions never go through on Simple Swap the way they should. I'm still waiting on my Helium. I purchased more today. I sold some T-Fuel to do it. To purchase some of that good helium. Like I said, that's my pick of 2022. But with that being said, let's go into the charts. Pull up the Bitcoin to USDT chart, and we're going to switch it to the daily so I can look at this chart that I've been looking at for a while now. This ascending triangle that me and a lot of other people have drawn out, because we all see this formation, right? We all see this triangle formation, and my triangle, the way I have it drawn, Bitcoin has broken out and did a small confirmation. Some people have it drawn a little bit differently, like, they're not considering that a confirmation, which I really don't either. On mine, hasn't got a weekly confirmation or anything like that, but we're starting to push back on this higher level. And let's look at what I'm talking about. I'm going to change the color and I'm going to use teal here, and this is the bigger triangle that if you actually draw it as a triangle, that or the upper resistance that we're pushing up on, trying to break out of. And we're right there basically, depending on where, if you use the candle wicks or the bodies. I can show you on the bodies as well. Let's use the bodies. Either way, you know, we've kind of broken out of that potentially. Like if you use the bodies right here and right here, I don't see how anybody can draw this different with the bodies. Well, basically we're hitting that with the bodies, we're hitting the top of it right now. And remember, about a week ago I said I look for us to retest this 44,000 level and then bounce off. That seems way too obvious to me right now. Like I said before a few days ago, that's just way too obvious. We're already this high up, so I think we're going to have to go a little bit higher, which is why I opened the long. Yeah, so around these levels that we're hovering at right now, not financial advice obviously, with a very, very, very small amount. Kind of just having some fun. I love betting against the bears. I still probably will never short Bitcoin. And for all the people that are in that group with me, more power to you. But the volume picked up a little bit more, but it's still struggling. And let's remember, stocks did go up today. This episode is basically completely about where we're at on the charts. This is a very, very, very significant moment in time. If we get rejected here, I mean a hard, harsh rejection with a few daily closes, we're probably going to go all the way back down to 37, 38, which is what a lot of people think we're going to do. A lot of people think we're going to go down to like 30, 31,000 and actually retest the bottom of this triangle, which is not out the cards, because I'm not sure if my triangle stays here. Oh, good, it does. If I switch it to the weekly, you see, you know what I mean? Like, this is just all one candle that we're up. So on the weekly, we still have to come back down at least to the top, which is around the 40,000. And I look at that like realistic, like, you know, but something is just off about shorting it right now, in my opinion, because everybody's waiting to get back in. A lot of people sold at 40,000, 38,000, 35,000, waiting for that 28,000. And are these just the whales kind of playing the game right now with everybody? Like, oh yeah, you're gonna get back in, psych. Yeah, so this episode is about Bitcoin, and back to my cover art, because I really wanted to talk from the heart about Bitcoin, man. When I first discovered Bitcoin, like, and it's truly what it was, not my first discovery of it, but once I really understood it back in the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, it started dollar cost averaging in. Like, I knew what I had found back then, at least I was pretty sure. So I studied every day on Bitcoin. I put hundreds of hours into studying Bitcoin easily. It was like an addiction almost, but I knew it was like a great addiction, you know what I mean? At least financially, you know what I mean? I can't speak of the, you know what I mean? It is stressful mentally and all that, I get it, but I knew just exactly what it was, you know, especially after the first year after studying it. I knew it was the blueprint, and not just the blueprint, it was the finished product actually of the blueprint as well. So it wasn't just the plans of the new financial system. When I say blueprint, I mean blueprints for the new financial system. But Bitcoin was the actually finished product. I mean, Bitcoin is finished. Can it get a little bit better with additions like Taproot? If you know what that is, they upgraded it with Taproot. Yes, but still at the end of the day, it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it gave the blueprint and opened the door to all these other, you know, cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum and you know, the endless line of cryptocurrencies, Cardano, Dash, Theta. You know, it gave the blockchain theory, you know what I mean? And not just gave it, like I said, it demonstrated it. So I don't know who Satoshi is. I don't even like to speculate. Sometimes I do. I think it was a group of people, and that's all I'll say. That we're masterminds at computer programming. Hated the financial system with central banking and how the banks got to loan and print money out of thin air and bail everybody out that they choose and let the poor suffer. Bitcoin has a great answer, not for the world's problems, but at least for the financial world's problems. It is a great answer. You just can't create value out of thin air. I don't think anybody's that magical unless you're like, a messiah out here, claiming to be, and you're doing water to wine, wooden staffs into snakes and things like that. I don't see how you can allow a central bank that only distributes and creates value off of confidence and with a value of like a currency that actually has no value in its nature. I mean, gold has value, silver has value, flowers have value, crustaceans have value, lobsters and clams and all that, and trees and plants and wood. Everything has value but like this printed fiat currency, but yet it controls the world. Obviously this was done by design by some masterminds, and Bitcoin is throwing a hex in everything as well as gold and silver, although gold and silver are still always probably going to be more important in the grand galactical universe, but we never had a true hard money. They can always find more silver, they can always find more gold. You can't find more Bitcoin. That's not the way it works, and it's protected by so many networks now of people operating their own minds. Everything has to be on a consensus algorithm that is time based, and you know what I mean, like the output is coming as long as these machines are running, and you'd have to literally shut down all of them at the same time, and the odds of that are like shutting down the internet. It's like impossible, and I feel confident in saying that because it's what we say about Pandora. The box, once the box is open, there's no closing it, there's no putting Pandora back in its box, and Bitcoin is the new modern day Pandora. So shout out to you, Satoshi, for creating such a magnificent tool that we can all use in creating freedom financially, as far as not having to look for authoritative source to tell us what we can and can't do with their money, when we can transact it, when we can't transact it, how much we got to pay for remittance, and all those crazy things that we have to do with the world central banks, the banking system, the fiat currency. And this was the vision that Satoshi had. So it's good to see Bitcoin fighting for that $44,000 level. We came a long way. I've bought Bitcoin in the high 3,000s, in the 4,000s, 5,000. I mean, all throughout that time period, I was buying Bitcoin. So to see this new bottom potentially at like 30K, it's like, what? Like, we're already here this fast. I've only been in it, 3 years, and we're talking about $30,000 bottoms potentially. Just imagine the upside in that. So none of this is financial advice, but dollar cost average into Bitcoin. Get yourself a core wallet, and hodl your Bitcoin, and understand it, study it, put some time and effort into it, because yes, just like the Mandos say, this is the way. This is your boy Doc Blake with Ethereal TV. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.